hello everyone, and welcome to another 3v3 fastest map on StarCraft Brood Wars Remastered. We're going to go ahead and jump into replay number 213. This is a replay from 9/16/2018, so maybe a week after I had that big string of games on 9/11. So we've got 4 Protoss, 2 Zerg, not a Terran in sight. Let's go ahead and check it out. I've done so many games that involve like multi-race that I pretty much only have games that are like this now, where it's like a bunch of the same race, and then maybe a trickle in of a couple others. But you know, it's all good. So, anyways, let's go ahead and check out what we've got in the top left corner for team number 1. We've got John Redcorn, the teal Protoss. All the way over in the top right corner, we've got Tommy Guns NYC, the brown Protoss. Sounds dangerous. Alright, and then we've got Tank Nara, the red Zerg, in the middle right. He's the last member of team number 1. So we've got a Zerg Protoss team. Let's check out team number 2. In the bottom right corner, we've got Up M 1993, the white Protoss. In the bottom left, we've got Gemini, the blue Zerg. Gemini's a guy I think I've seen play before. And then in the middle left, Big Dick Nugs, the orange Protoss. Oh my goodness, these people, I love it. Alright, so we got Protoss, Zerg, Protoss versus Protoss, Zerg. Okay. So early on we see a bunch of gateways coming up. Let's go ahead and speed this up because I don't see any rushes coming in. We've got orange getting an early Nexus and then getting a gateway, so being a little bit of a greedy boy. And then blue has the spawning pool. Here's the creep colony. He's getting things going. I say let's get OJ. White is building a front defense but doesn't have much behind it. Red building a hatchery, sunken spawning pool, and brown building 2 gateways behind the forge. Alright, so let's go ahead and check out the APM. As you see, pretty low APM across the board. Tenakara over here, the red Zerg, is actually the highest with about 130 APM. And there's a couple people, Tommy Guns NYC is actually flirting with 100, but everyone else is pretty low below. So it's going to be a slower game. It's 15 minutes, so we'll see what happens. Alright, so here we go. First attack comes in. John Redcorn attacking Big Dick Nugs. Getting a couple of probes here. He's attacking with the probes, which actually is not the smartest idea. Down to 19 workers and 17 workers. So, had a lot of workers. Actually had the worker leave, and now he's getting attacked. Looks like he has enough to probably stop this, but this is certainly a wake-up call to him. Again, that Nexus early on is probably going to be... Look, he doesn't have any money to build Zealots, so if we continue the pressure, this actually might be a really dangerous push. Alright, so we'll keep our eyes on that. In the meantime, White is building some cannons in front of Blue. Blue building a lot of defense against anyone that decides to come in on him. Red over here macroing up. So in the meantime, while I'm putting a lot of pressure on Orange, everyone else is sort of chilling. I don't think this is going to accomplish too much besides put Orange on the defensive for a little bit. As a matter of fact, he's not really doing anything. He's just like saying, okay, I'll just build up over here. Might get this gateway? Possibly? I don't know. Too many Zealots are popping up. Alright, so it looks like I abandoned that early rush, but it certainly did its job, so... You'd love to see more. Okay, so more gateways are coming in. Alright, so I like the map growing up there right behind that. So, keeping a little pressure on Orange. I wish that helped me get the probe lead, but it didn't. You definitely need to remember, like a hot tip, just keep building workers all the time, because you're going to need them, especially when you're in the middle of a battle and you're trying to remake your army and keep pressure on someone or keep defense on someone. It's really important to have that. Alright, so you see Brown getting ready to really macro up and get going. Tommy Guns NYC building a city over here. Alright, here I come again. So I'm trying to put some pressure on Orange, but I think Orange has plenty to defend here. Alright, so we might take out this turret. I mean cannon. So we're taking out some cannons. We're continuing to put economic pressure on him because he doesn't have money to build enough zealots to really defend against this. And I have plenty of money to build zealots. So they continue to come in, building my cybernetics score. We're keeping our eye on that. No one else really doing anything but macroing up. This is just like the early battle. Alright, so he continues to build production facilities, so later on he'll be really strong, but right now he's getting a lot of pressure put on him. Looks like he should pretty easily clean this up. Alright, so we're about the 6-minute mark, so we should see tons of upgrades coming in. So we see Blue getting his Hydralisk upgrades, we see Red getting Hydralisk upgrades, among others, and we see Teal getting ground weapons. So, putting pressure on OJ, saying let's help kill OJ, but I actually think we should probably just back off, macro up, get really strong, and then decide what we want to do after that. I'm a little impatient of a StarCraft player. I don't like to sit around and let people get strong, because I know when I do that, people are going to be able to beat me. So, I'm trying to end the game sooner rather than later, but right here I'm getting my Citadel up. We don't see that from Orange yet, so again, I've been able to at least stall him in that regard. Getting a little bit of gas going as well behind that. But Orange is really getting gas going. He has the most of everyone so far. Alright, so we're continuing to look at the production tab. We see Orange getting some upgrades for their Dragoons. So Dragoons is going to be the play for Orange. In the meantime, I'm trying to figure out what... Alright, so Red's the first one to get out a bunch of Hydralisk, so that's certainly a good sign for team number 1. We see over here, this guy's got a nice, interesting little setup. Doesn't have too much of an army, though. And no upgrades coming in. Blue really getting a ton of production facilities. He's got evolution chambers. He's getting his Hydralisk going. Might see some lurker play coming in. In the meantime, here comes Red. So I must be just like salivating right now at the fact that Red is actually attacking Orange. Alright, so he's got a lot of Hydralisk. They're not upgraded, but it's just a big old bunch of them. And I don't think Orange has quite enough quite yet to deal with this. In the meantime, yeah, like I said, I'm definitely going to come and join in on this. Alright, so we'll zoom out a little bit and watch this battle. Alright, here I come. I definitely don't have the speed upgrades yet, but I might have ones at some point during this fight. So we'll keep our eyes on these zealots. Alright, in the meantime, Hydralisk trying to get onto the production. There's quite a few cannons here, so if they sit here, it might be alright. In the meantime, all of these zealots just streaming in on top of these gateways. There's nothing coming out of them either because he's... Oh, there's a few of them there are. He's so busy trying to protect himself. Alright, here comes White to try to defend this. In the meantime, Red's getting a bunch more Hydralisk. He's trying to send in stuff. He's got 1-1s on his Hydralisk. Alright, this game is broken wide open. Alright. Lurkers come down, but there's an Overlord right there to stop it. I think he was trying to take out that Overlord, but Red was able to stop this. Alright, so White was able to come in and stop me. Here comes Red, though. He's continuing to stream units in. He's got Lurkers now. Oh, this is looking bad. Looking bad for Orange and Blue. Oh, man, these Lurkers are just going to clean house. Oh, look at them go. More Hydralisk coming in. I'm trying to get more gateways up. In the meantime, let's see what Tommy Guns is doing. I'm trying to see if anyone's setting up for a drop. It doesn't look like it. Alright, Tommy Guns, he's got some units. He's sending in units. We've still got those Lurkers sort of like cutting everything off. Or he's moving some of them inside. Alright, here I come. I've got some Dragoons to help out. These Lurkers continuing to do work. Alright, here's Brown. He's coming in with me. All right, my zealots just got that speed upgrade. You can see it come in. All right, so blue getting cut off. Doing such a good job keeping pressure on orange. Really, really nice job. Look at this. All right. So we're continuing to squeeze this guy. Blue's trying to come in with these Hydralisks. They're 2-2s. So actually pretty strong. Here comes brown and red with more units. I'm sort of re-upping my units. Got a few guys still hanging in there. Orange trying to hang in. We still got 46 workers, so we haven't gotten on top of the production yet. Here comes white, but red's right behind it, right on top of it. Oh, man. Big Dick Nugs is really having a hard time here. Alright, he's trying to rebuild, but more continued units are just streaming in. Blue continuing to try to find some way. He does have 2 spires here. If he could tech switch here, it might actually work out. Or just unit switch. Alright, there goes the cybernetics core. Alright, now we're on top of the production. This is what we should see these workers go down in droves. Alright, we see 40 still. Alright, white trying to push in. This is all about detectors. They just can't take out these lurkers. 13 kills, 11 kills, 14 kills for these lurkers. The detection is making all of the difference. And we finally take out orange. It looks like orange rebuilding down here now. He's able to escape all of that. Alright, now white in the meantime was building carriers. So now white is getting ready to do something. Alright, but we're resetting. We could very easily attack either one of these people. Alright, we decided to go. I decided to go after white. Alright, we're at 1-1s. A little bit ahead of him, actually. Alright, so these dragoons come in. In the meantime, he's got these carriers flying around. Blue's got a bunch of mutalisks. So this is a dangerous little comp that these guys have got. They've sort of switched to air, and we're not. I'm at least not prepared for it. Red does have Hydralisk, so he should be fine. And then brown up here, it's just chilling. He's getting ready to do air. In the meantime, we're keeping pressure on white. We're starting to stream in on some of these units, buildings. Here go those gateways. Alright, here come the Mutalisks with some carriers that have some interceptors. Oh, and he's not even going to try to help out white. He's just going to go right for red's base to see if he can just take out that hive. But there's a bunch of Hydralisks here. So these are just going to go down. I don't know, why wouldn't you help your friend here? What a failed decision there by Blue. Blue is put in a tough position, but I don't think he played it particularly well, Gemini. I mean, that particular play was really bad. Alright, so we're pushing in on white. He's got these carriers up. They're starting to do some damage, but these zealots are just smashing this base. And Gemini leaves the game. He says no more. And Big Dick Nugs leaves the game. And it shouldn't be too long before white taps out. Here comes brown with more units. Here comes a big old stream of dragoons. He's trying to hang on. Oh, all these dragoons are just going to destroy this. Here come the scouts to take out these carriers. This guy's really hanging in. I think he really believed these carriers were going to lead him to victory. What a game by team number 1. Tommy Guns. NYC Tank Nora and John Redcorn 1129. Good game there. Pretty dominant, honestly. We just kept the pressure on Orange, and then no one was able to really help him. And that was the end of the game. But yeah, thanks for joining me. I almost wanted to try to get in a game before the end of the night, but thank you. Have a good end of your week, and enjoy your weekend. I'll catch you on the next replay.